Here on this cold, dreary morning, working on getting all my measurements for the new foam to be cut looks like it's going to end up being starboard quarter berth here instead of port. It's just not going to work out on the port side. So anyway, what I'm doing here, I was going to do every foot. I was measuring from the leading edge of the seat, quote unquote, all the way to the beginning of the curve back here that comes up, the curve of the inside of the hull, and trying to be as picky about it as I can. Initially, I was going to just do every foot. In other words, measure from the seat front to the curve and do every foot. Well, I decided to do every 6 inches, and so this is what I've got so far, and I'm just writing on the underside of the box that my Weems and Plath came in here. So initially it's just 22 inches from this seat front to the beginning of the curve, and then every 6 inches after that. I'm just trying to be as picky as possible. And I figure I'll get a nice fine line, and that's the way I'm going to break it down. It's going to be a little more difficult as I get further back in here because I got 6 feet to go all the way back in there. And after a while, there is no more seat front. This mahogany, actually I think it's teak board here, ends about 4 feet in total. And so I've got to go all the way back and keep measuring and try to get as accurate of a line as I can. And then I'll transfer all these numbers to the foam. And the beauty of it is I can do this job inside where it's warm and comfortable in my parents' living room. And just going to take it over as a workshop for the day because we got rain coming in at 8 o'clock. And that's why I'm out here now trying to get all this done before the rain gets here. And I'm going to leave it kind of partially buttoned up out in the cockpit, and I'm not going to worry about it a whole lot because it needs a washing down out there anyway, and just let the rain come down. So, all right, well, that's the early morning routine here, and I'm going to just shut this down and keep on measuring. And about 7 o'clock, I'm going to go in and grab some breakfast. It's just after 6 right here right now. So, good morning, aboard Little Girl, and good morning from Cape Cod. After all the work I did this morning, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. This is my key. Everything ready for the starboard quarter berth, and beginning at the sink, 22 inches, and then every 6 inches, I decided to do 6 so I get a finer line on it. So every 6 inches, 6, 12, 18, and so on and so forth, I very carefully measured to the beginning of the curve, or actually into the curve, where the hull begins to go upward toward the deck. And so anyway, that's my total thing right there. Ending way down at a full 6 feet at only 15 inches. So anyway, that being said and done, this is what I did. I took my foam and I did every 6 inch increments all the way down. Again, 6 inch increments all the way down up at the top. And then I began, and so this first mark right here is at the edge of the sink, and then every 6 inches, this is taking the measurements off the key, and you can see the result, and you can see just from looking at it, it's going to make a nice smooth line that will follow the contour of the inside of the boat. And meanwhile, this other edge here is the one that goes against the front of the seat and back in under the cockpit. Anyway, cool. It all came out great. Now I've got to join the dots, you know, and then I'm going to get out my electric knife, just like you'd use in your kitchen, and that's what you use. There's the one little thing that I found. I looked at my measurements. I actually went back out on the boat and did a remeasurement, because as I looked at it, I says, that's not right. and I had to add another, I think, ½ inch or quarter inch, I can't remember. But then once I did that, all of a sudden this line made perfect sense. And you stand back and look at it, you can see the contour perfectly. And that's the inside wall of the hull. So anyway, there you go. And next step is get out the electric knife and get to work. And we'll show the results of that in just a minute. Plans. As of yesterday, I was just going to go ahead and have a cushion here, and that be all storage, and this be the starboard quarter berth. Well, the starboard quarter berth came out great. I've got no complaints about that. But then when my brother was over last night, he said, so whoever sails with you, you're just going to stick them up in the V berth, right? I said, I got to thinking about that, and I said, you know what? That's, you know, and he knows. That was a hint. From my brother and I are fellow sailors. We both love sailing. And he's probably the most likely guy to go, you know, doing some cruising with me. So anyway, I went back to square one. I took the rest of the foam pad and I cut it to shape. Did my measurements early this morning and cut it to shape. And so now there is a port quarter berth. And so we have both port and starboard quarter berth. This fits like a glove. It's perfectly done. When I get home, years ago, my wife and I were doing some work, and I was doing puppet ministry. And we found out, because we were using a lot of foam rubber making puppets, there's a special spray adhesive, and man, it is awesome. We're going to just go ahead and take these home and spray this end, in this end of where I cut that off, and this is one seam here. Just spray it and put them together, and that will be one piece of foam rubber, and just put a nice cushion cover on it for the whole thing, and we're up and running. And so now there'll be both port and starboard quarter berths, and my brother won't have to sleep in the V berth. So anyway, thank you, Gary. Appreciate you hinting, and I got the point. So anyway, a little better accommodations aboard Little Girl. Now you can have at least two comfortably sleeping, and whoever was willing to sleep in the V berth, that's going to be their problem. It's kind of a mess up there right now. I've got some equipment in there. So anyway, back at it. This is the day we finally have some decent weather, morning to night. It's going to be like this. It's going to be all sunshine. I got my solar panel up on the foredeck, trying to absorb a little heat, electricity to punch up the batteries. But yesterday, oh, what a mess. Yesterday, I got everything all cleaned up down here. I got this all put together with this is a shelf for the table. And I got it stained, got everything put back together, but I left the cockpit wide open because I figured, well, it's not. I checked the weather before I went in, and it said it's supposed to be just nothing but kind of clouding up, and then it's going to be nice through the night. I'll tell you what, I wasn't inside 10 minutes, and my wife commented, and looking out the window, it's really coming down. I said, no! So I ran back. I got absolutely drenched getting this boat covered back up, and I had to do it in a big hurry. Things still got mighty wet, so it's going to be an absolutely no rain, beautiful weather day, and I'm so looking forward to really getting some serious work done. This is the only inside project I'm doing for the day. Tomorrow, for this afternoon. I'm going to be doing all the buff out topside and getting everything set up for the sanding out the next time I'm down for the bottom. Anyway, up and running. Pretty weather. Going to be a great day to work on little girl. I was laying awake last night in the middle of the night thinking about this, and I was wondering, I wonder if that sink pump still works. And so I brought a little container of water out here today and primed the pump. I love it. I love it. It works. So now it's going to run out of water because that's about all the water I put in the hose. But hey, works. One less thing I got to fix. Obviously, this is what I got to fix. I don't want any kind of water that would be drinking. Probably wouldn't be drinking out of this stuff anyway. Out of this faucet. But anyway, replace it with some decent brand new hose. But I just filled the hose with enough water to kind of prime it. And did the pump. And it's working great. Hey! Well, little victories, I'll take them. So, you know, it's okay, I think we're just about out of water there. Anyway, just one more thing, or actually one less thing that I got to worry about aboard little girl. When the time comes, I'll go ahead and put new hose on this and hitch it up to a water tank, and it'll be ready to go. I already checked, and I'm going to be looking under here in just a minute to see if I don't see any leaks, and that's good because that's the outboard right there. In other words, where the sink empties out outboard of the hull. So, all right, hey, one less thing to worry about. When we're on the Cape, Sassuat Harbor, and great little place. This is the inlet. Just saw a sailboat leaving a few minutes ago, and I was thinking how envious I was that he was heading out into Cape Cod Bay, and I'm still working on little girl. But anyway, just beautiful, beautiful Cape Cod day here. Lovely stuff. And really pretty, really pretty. Well, it's been an excellent trip. I've gotten a lot accomplished. You know, if it weren't for the rain, it would have been even more. But we had a lot of rain and cold the first couple of days that were here. Even this evening, we're going to be gone, but the more rain is coming in. In the meantime, I got a lot done. You know, my clock and the barometer are up in their places, and you know, things are just getting organized and put in place where they belong. But still a lot to do. The cup holder still I have not located. I think that's exactly where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to have to, you know, put a couple screws in it, but because I like balance, and I would just like the way that looks. So the sink, found out about that. That thing is all functional and good. That's a plus. I cut off a piece of the hose, and I'm going to take that home with me and see if I can't locate some proper hose for the feed line from the water tank to the faucet. That's going to be interesting because I don't want to pay West Marine prices. I think I'll be able to find something like that. Foam has all been done, both sides, port and starboard. Table is nicely finished up. Never did show this. There's the little shelf that I built that is 5200 and screws into place and all varnished out, and everything matching the rest of the woodwork in here. So yeah, we're starting to look good. Starting to look good in here. What I'm going to do this afternoon, or actually after I get some breakfast this morning, is I'm going to go ahead and just buff out with compound and my random orbital sander the top side, and as in everything above the water line up to the deck. That's all going to get compounded and cleaned to take off all those decades of haze that have built up over the years from being in the water and so forth. And then, if I have time, I'm going to go ahead and put some wax on it. The other thing that I got done, all of my deck hardware is now installed and looking good. Hang on, we'll just get outside for just a second. Bedded. There's my little cheek block right there. Got that on last night. And here we go. These are all on where they came off from originally, but they're all bedded in place permanently. That's it. We're looking good, and I think we're going to call it quits for this trip. I won't do any of the videotaping of the compounding and all that kind of stuff. Suffice it to say, it's just one more item that got done. One thing that was not shown at all on here was I made huge amounts of effort on the sail to take off the old original Seafarer insignia. I sat for hours and hours and hours taking out stitches. Wow. Suffice it to say, that's going to be one long project. I didn't show it because it's going to have to go back to Vermont, and lots of hours are going to be spent taking that out. All of the numbers, all of the all of it. It's all going to be unstitched before new stuff can go on. I've got all the right material to put it in, all brand new letters and insignia and so forth. Hey, it's all just, nice to just, I'll keep it in the box. There's no sense in even getting it out until I get all this stuff unstitched and taken off the surface of the mainsail. So, hey. All right, well, that's about it. Thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl, and come back another time. I think this is probably going to end up being a two-parter, and we'll just kind of see how that goes. Hey, have a great day. Look forward to catching you on the next time around.